Can we talk about these number one, or not these number one, but can we just talk about draft picks in general? I feel like draft picks are like when the new Jordans come out, and you know they were coming out, and so you waited and you saved, and you're like, Mom, you know I gotta get some money, whatever you gotta do, get some money, buy these Jordans. And the draft, like these Jordans, goes two ways. You go and buy the Jordans. You go pick them up. Hopefully you get in line before everybody else. You get the Jordans, hopefully. If you don't get the Jordans, then you're screwed and it doesn't really matter anyway. But you get these Jordans, and this is what happens. Either one of two things happens. You're like, holy cow, that's a nice pair of shoes. I'm so glad that I bought these. Favorite pair of shoes I ever bought. Or you put them on and you're like, this is not what they looked like on the picture. They don't look good on my feet, whatever. That's drafting in a nutshell. There is not a single stat in college that automatically translate to this guy will be a good NBA player. The one thing I can tell you does translate is if he works hard in college, chances are he's going to work hard in the NBA. If he works hard in college, he's going to work hard in the NFL. That's all I can really tell you. And draft picks are they're so overhyped. I feel like ESPN does a great job of just corrupting all of our minds. We sit around and we wait for the draft. Like, they're already hyping up the draft, and we're in, what are we in now? Like January? They were hyping up the draft in October. As soon as college basketball starts, they start like hyping up the NBA draft. You know what's funny? You know what you actually get out of the NBA draft? Less than 10% of draftees end up being all-stars. Okay, actually, just kidding. I pulled that right out of my butt. I don't actually know if that's true. But, like, look at all the guys that were drafted last year. Or the year, like, how many guys do you realistically think, especially the guys drafted in the top 10? Most of those guys are going to be busts. Now, I can't tell you which pick they're going to be, but most of those guys aren't going to end up very great. It just goes to show that idiots like Sacramento think that draft picks are the greatest thing ever. You know what? We can get draft picks in change for DeMarcus, and we'll just get rid of DeMarcus Cousins, and we'll get draft picks and we'll be fine. Well, it worked out for the Celtics, but that's only because they got draft picks for like the past 6 years. Brooklyn hasn't drafted in the lottery for who knows how long. Because they made that stupid trade. They got to get Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce for 1 year or two. It's absolutely absurd. Like, somebody tell me what Jaylen Brown has done for the Celtics lately. Or what Marcus Smart has done. You don't get superstars. More times than not, if you're banking on getting a superstar in the draft, you're screwed, bro. Like, LeBron James is 1 in a million. And Jason Whitlock made the exact same point the other day. You know what? If LeBron James fails, you know what that looks like? Michael Beasley. Tatted up, looks like he got eyes of the Sith Lord, and now he plays in China. When was the last time Michael Beasley was good? I can't tell you. Ryan Leaf, perfect example. I think it's so funny how we remember the guys that were drafted before, like the guy drafted before Michael Jordan. The only reason you know his name is because he was drafted before Michael Jordan. Sam Bowie? Don't quote me on that. Sam Bowie? I believe he was drafted number 1 before Hakeem Olajuwon and also Michael Jordan. What in the world? Now, back then we would have said, oh, that's a great pick. Number 1 overall pick, way to go. But as soon as you make that pick, you're literally guaranteed nothing. You are guaranteed absolutely nothing unless that kid decides he's going to work hard and he has the natural talent and confidence to get him through the league. Because odds are he's not making it on his own. Odds are he's not even going to make it as a good NBA player. Everybody remember Ryan Leaf? The man drafted in the same class as Tom Brady. This is how much the NFL Combine will tell you about what your NFL player is going to look like. Keith Marshall, running back for Georgia, ran the fastest 40 at the NFL Combine last year. You know how many snaps he played for the Washington Redskins? I don't even believe he played one. He may have played one, but he did not carry for any positive yards or any significance. You know what Tom Brady's 40 time was? I believe it was somewhere in the 5'4 to 5'6 region. I was running that fast when I was in 10th grade, and I was a slow, short piece of crap. Like, I was not athletic at all, and I was running fast in 5'6". Jameis Winston ran like a 5'0 or a 4'9 or a 5'1. And Jameis Winston's a solid NFL quarterback. Now, granted, he did win some college titles, but Johnny Manziel. Guess what happened to him in college? He was great. Look what happened to him in the NFL. That's Michael Beasley. That's LeBron James. If LeBron James fails, is Johnny Manziel. Because I honestly thought coming out of college, Johnny Manziel, I was a Todd Gurley fan. Todd Gurley was a freshman. Stud running back. Perfect running back. 6'1", speed demon. He'll truck the daylights out of you. I thought he deserved to be a Heisman. And then I watched Johnny Manziel, and I was like, as loyal and biased as I am to Georgia, Johnny Manziel may be the most athletic and the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. Now, he's definitely the most entertaining, probably the most entertaining quarterback we've ever seen. Michael Vick is up there. But, so that's what I'm saying is, these draft picks and all this analysis, I would love more than anyone if you could look at a stat and say, oh, he's going to translate to the NFL. But it doesn't work that way. And I love how much these guys who, like Mel Kiper and Todd McShay, they say, oh, this guy's going to be good. ESPN and all these other media outlets, y'all are the real MVPs in the NFL draft, because you know what? All these teams can go out and draft whoever the heck they want. And win or lose, you guys still win. Like, ESPN literally controls the draft. Because they say, this is where this guy is going to go. And then the Chargers look up on ESPN. Oh, who do they say we're drafting? Oh yeah, let's go out and get this Bosa kid. Now, I'm sure they do scout and they do all this stuff. And don't knock me. Like Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, those guys are very good at their jobs. Like, they know they're talent scouts, they know what they're looking at. But they can't guarantee anything. They cannot guarantee that your favorite defensive end at University of Alabama is going to be a stud in the NFL. As a Georgia fan, here's what I can tell you. Odds are, you draft the kid out of the SEC, he's probably going to make you some money. He's probably going to win a lot of games, because you want to know which conference dominates the Pro Bowl every single year? The SEC. You want to know which conference dominates recruiting every year? The SEC. You want to know which conference goes to the most national championships past 20 years? SEC, Alabama, Auburn, Florida. Georgia dominates the Pro Bowl every year, and they don't even go to national championships. That just tells you how good the SEC is. So I'm telling you right now, now that's for football. Basketball is completely different. Because basketball, you can get away with not the most like pure athletically gifted kid on the field. Like, you can just work and you can shoot and get away with it, or you can just dribble and pass and get away with it. Whereas football, if you want to be successful, you got to be pretty complete. Like, people can say all they want about Michael Vick, but that man could throw the ball. He didn't have the arm of Tom Brady, but he could spin it. And, like, how good were the Cavaliers with LeBron James when they started? He was great. Took them to a couple finals, but he couldn't win it for them. Like, the best players, like, unless you're the Chicago Bulls and you draft Michael Jordan, like, I can't really argue with you there, because I still think that Michael Jordan is the best player of all time, maybe the greatest athlete of all time. So, but what's got me all riled up is, like, watching the NBA draft every year, and I'm like, when is Brooklyn gonna pick? And I'm like, oh wait, never. And then I'm like, hey, 76ers are gonna pick. Bet they take a big man. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Because you have no guarantee on anything. The other thing I know about the 76ers in the draft, odds are they're taking the best big man that year in college, and he's not doing anything for them. They got luck. Like, Joel Embiid was literally a draft pick 2 years ago. The 76ers are so bad that they're good. Kid breaks his leg, or breaks his foot 2 years in a row and comes back and he's a stud. Which only makes me scared at what Ben Simmons could do if, I guess, maybe there's something in the water out there for kids with broken feet. Because I believe Ben Simmons has the same thing. So, I mean, it's scary. But yeah, this whole thing has riled me up because there's so much hype around college players in the draft. People were talking about how Buddy Hield was going to be the next great, like he was going to be the greatest, the next Steph Curry is what they said. And people are still saying he could be Steph Curry. Which I guess could be factual, considering Steph Curry took a while to blossom after he broke his ankles like 5 times. So, what I'm saying is, draft picks are great to give to idiots and to steal from idiots like the Brooklyn Nets. Because no matter what happens, it seems like the Brooklyn Nets always get screwed over. And I don't care in this whole Sacramento deal if you're like, oh, trust the process. They know what they're doing. Do they? Do they really? Because you just put the 2 best big men in the game on the same team. The only reason I could think that you'd do that is because you made some behind the door deal with DeMarcus Cousins that he would make sure that the Pelicans tank so that y'all could make the playoffs, which I don't know why, because any shot you had of even playing anyone in the playoffs you gave away by giving away DeMarcus Cousins. I don't know why. There's just no argument to me that validates taking 3 below average players to get 1 or 2 picks in the draft. Even if this is one of the most fulfilling drafts ever, I still don't think it's worth giving up DeMarcus Cousins for, because there's a lot of teams that would have given you a lot more, and you could have waited until the offseason before you did it. I'll do another one about this. I apologize if you thought my last one was really political. Feel free to share this My name is Brett Hammer. Feel free to share this, like it. Yes, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Send this to your kids, your coworkers, your family, your boss, whoever you want to send it to. Someone you think that likes sports, because I don't have anyone to talk about sports with at school, so I got to talk about it here by myself in my room while I'm driving, all this crap. But I love doing it. If anybody wants to, kind of debate, do whatever with me, let me know. I love doing it. I would love to talk to somebody else about it. But for sure, share this as much as possible. I'd love to have as many listeners as possible. I feel like I really bring a different vibe. So yeah. Thanks.